Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the final game of the day for the day's coverage of the Dota 2 Asia Championship European Qualifier. We've got a Game 3 between Power Rangers and Alliance, and this is, well, the final Game 3 winner will be going to China. Still has a ways to go through this bracket. You'll be in the winner bracket finals, but this at least will secure you a slot to go as a wildcard team, and you get that trip. So pretty exciting. Both teams in it to win it here, fighting for not survival, but pretty big opportunity with events coming up. So with that said, I'm Zyori, joined once more by LD. LD, it's been a pretty even series back and forth. Who's your money on for Game 3, man?
Tough one. I slightly favor PR if they played their maximum potential. That was one of the most off games I've ever seen from Zyori. The chronos weren't great. It was a really good performance by Suniko, but if you imagine that Void having even farm with Medusa and Juggernaut, that could have been a very different game.
Oh, yeah.
You think about him with the Refresher and MKB, so the butterflies don't matter. The way they started the game was nice. I thought they were very efficient, but just a few... You go back to that one fight where he used Chrono, didn't get a kill, and then ended up dying, and that kind of set the tone for the whole game.
Down in the bottom lane near the Tier 1 tower.
I thought the draft was solid. Medusa does match up really well against Faceless Void, just because she always gets Stone Gaze off, unless maybe by a Blink Dagger on Void, which it has that more instant initiation, but that's not until much later on. So I think maybe slightly draft-based, but I would say I think primarily execution.
The big crux for PR was Cheshire Cat in that game. The off-lane Tide, at 10 minutes, he was still level 3. That is a big problem. It's okay if Tide doesn't get a lot of farm. Maybe he gets a 15, 20-minute blink, but you need that Ravage online just to have the possibility to come in and turn a fight around.
And that is purely credit to my nuts for just shutting him down early on the support role. And they're going to go for the Lion again. So... We'll see the supports du jour getting snapped up early, the Wisp by Power Rangers, the Lion by Alliance, and now the Jug bans start coming out. A lot of teams are already banning this first phase, but Alliance, I guess, they lost against it in Game 1, they won with it, and they don't want to give it away in our deciding Game number 3.
So
everyone loves the Jug.
Finally, no Jug. That's been kind of the talk of the town, at least for the games that we've covered so far today. A
lot of healers got banned out as well. Chen got banned out, Witch Doctor, and Jug, so...
Well, we did see a game earlier today that had the healing strat where it was a Dazzle, a Necro, and a Witch Doctor all on the same team, and it's like, if you don't have an Ancient Apparition, how do you stop that? The sustain is just unreal. But curious how Power Rangers will utilize the Wisp. That's actually been PR played it in the first game.
Yeah, we
Alliance
saw
played it in the last game. This is 3 for 3. Yeah,
not banned.
Right. Yeah, not banned.
The Chen ban, respect ban for Ake. The hero still seems kind of situational, and we did see him fall off pretty hard in one of the other games, but can be very potent. And certainly Alliance of all teams know how to use it well. So yeah, there's so many ways you can go when you open with Wisp, right? You can go for a very heavy split push. You can still go for a big old team fight lineup. You can run the hard carry like a Tiny. Someone who wants to fight more early like a Gyro. We saw the Gyro as a reaction to what could be a very early push from Alliance in Game 1. If Power Rangers go for that, it'll be, again, purely as a reaction. And opening Lion Abaddon does not exactly scream push. So I think now they go for something different and probably reserve the Wisp partner, unless they know they would just want a Tiny Wisp this game.
So the second pick of Abaddon is a bit fascinating here. Not really in high demand right now. The advantage is it doesn't reveal your hand. He's pretty ambiguous in terms of what your general strategy is going to be.
Puck? I like that. That's not really revealing anything, leaving your options open, giving you a little bit of everything kind of pick, and that's good because you still have no idea what Alliance is doing. That said, there was a slightly safer option, I would say, in the Tide Hunter out there, but I guess after the way the Tide game went last time, Power Rangers may be feeling it's just not their hero. Puck is a bit vulnerable to Lion. We've seen a lot of off-lane Pucks really struggle against the hero recently. But I still think the Puck can do well. It's just not so much in the laning stage. You have to make up for it elsewhere, and that's where maybe you look to even put the Puck mid potentially.
Yeah, I was just wondering that if it'll be more of an off-lane Puck here, or if they'll put him in that mid role.
I'm not sure. Or just it's going to depend on the rest of their draft.
Yeah, still very open-ended. Alliance, they ban out Broodmother and Slark with their next two. There's that Zyori respect ban, and
Power Rangers really afraid of getting pushed with the Prophet, Troll, and Chen bans.
Yeah, they certainly are. I have a feeling they're going to pick something, a pretty hard carry here with this Wisp. Maybe Tiny, maybe CK. Maybe they'll go for the Deuce themselves. Could be a possibility.
Yeah, a lot of it just comes down to the direction Alliance take. And now they kind of have to start laying their cards on the table a bit.
Yeah.
5 seconds remaining.
There's when we see a Batten, it's often with these squishier carries that are very mobile. Weaver is fantastic against Wisp. And so that's a possibility. But Puck normally matches up pretty well. They'll go for a Void. Okay, not really much synergy with Chronosphere. But is pretty good against Wisp. Good against Puck, you just jump him with the Chrono, and you can't phase shift your way out of that.
Yeah.
And then blink out or anything. So
it's not too bad in lane if a Batten can just throw a shield on Void. He can get aggressive, maybe dive a tower, and has all that extra burst damage when the shield pops. Cute. Sort of a similar flavor to that, a Batten Weaver type deal, but not nearly as synergistic.
10 seconds remaining.
Interesting opening from Alliance. Still very open-ended and flexible. Off-lane Void or safe lane.
I'm still wondering why a Batten, and
Alliances.
There's no real. Generally, when you see a Batten, it's like if they have like some amazing chain stun, or if you want to run a squishier carry that needs the shield. Good example would be if a team's running like a Sven Lina or something, which we don't really see anymore. But they throw out that first stun, quickly shield, and
or notorious like roaming Mirana, good for cleansing those long stuns, all that kind of stuff.
To pick a Batten this early, obviously Alliance has something in mind, but it's just not entirely clear yet what they're thinking about. Power Rangers will go for Viper, a hero that we have not seen too much of lately. I know Merlini's really high on the Viper right now.
Yeah.
It's a tankier hero, which is nice against Finger of Death and Chrono. You live through the combo, and then you can turn the fight. Can also push pretty early. And Alliance, I will say I think that's their biggest weakness with the draft right now is they're very bad at stopping pushes. What do they really have? Aphotic Shield and Impale. And Lion doesn't want to be getting near the creeps to Impale because then he gets jumped by the Puck or the relocate. And Void, okay if there's a Chrono up, but Alliance really like D-push. So either they have to find a way to keep the pressure on Power Rangers so they don't push, or get some split push of their own going.
Okay, well now some synergy coming to light here. They will fourth pick Invoker and can dump a lot of damage into that Chronosphere.
There's some synergy with Void if they want to run the Exort Invoker.
Yeah, very curious if I was just thinking that. Will it be Exort or will it be Wex? That's really the question I have, and I'm frankly not sure. Who is their Invoker player of this
I believe
match?
It's Pycat.
Pycat, okay.
I'm gonna check if they've run it recently.
10 seconds remaining.
Just an interesting mix of players. And
Pycat used to be really well known for his Qualifier Invoker. Yeah, he played it against Goomba in December, so I'm guessing it should be Pycat.
Reserve time.
I haven't seen him play it much like since TI2 era, I would say. I'm sure he has a few times as of late, but
yeah. I feel like a Batten is one of those heroes that when in games he either looks amazing or terrible. He's either just like cleansing off, like debuffs and saving people left and right. And you're just like, how do you stop this guy from saving his team? Then you see other games where he just runs around, can't really zone anybody out, and just sort of kind of keels over when the team fights break out. I feel like he's in a weird place where he can be really strong and also really weak depending on how the lanes go. But here you go, Power Rangers. They go with the classic Wisp Tiny.
So Tiny Wisp, late game, strong for both teams. Void can deal with Tiny, but with a Wisp, you have to worry about the defensive relocates. If you don't have a BKB, you have to worry about Craggy.
It's not fun for Void. Craggy throws a wrench in the mix.
And Tiny can actually heavily outfarm Void just because of the Scepter. The general build, pretty much all pros go for nowadays, is a very farm-oriented build. The tread straight into Ags is the most common. Maybe drums to the mix and then you go Ags, but that's where Void, if they want to keep up, he either has to go for like a Midas, maybe the early Mask of Madness Maelstrom, but that's assuming Alliance want to play that direction. If they want to try and take over this game before the Tiny comes online, then this last pick is going to have to be fairly aggressive. Right now, Invoker and Void, both heroes that take quite a bit of time to come online, especially if they go Exort Invoker, and that would leave them wanting something that can contribute earlier for this EGM hero.
Yeah.
I guess in theory it could be an EGM Void, but we're normally expecting Loda to play that.
Yeah, this is an interesting draft from Alliance where this fifth
Sniper.
pick, I wouldn't...
Okay,
there
maybe
you go.
it is an EGM Void then.
Yeah. There's a lot of ways they could have worked this with how they set up the lane. So that fifth pick was a hard one to guess, but Sniper, very synergistic with Void.
Great against... Well, I won't say he's great against Tiny Wisp, but the idea is good. The idea is that you never get close, right? So you don't want to get close to Tiny. Pretty much no hero in the game can go blow for blow with him.
This strikes me as like a blink dagger sniper kind of game almost. Just like sit in the way back, wait for the team fight to break out, maybe blink into the trees and just start unloading, you know?
Sniper is best when he either has really good frontliners that prevent the enemy from getting to him, or the enemy team is very bad at jumping. They have Puck, who's pretty good, Tiny Wisp, who are pretty good, but there's not like a Void on the enemy team or something that's just flat out amazing at catching out Sniper. So I think it's actually not a terrible Sniper game.
I mean, there is Centaur is the hero I always think of that is so irritating for Sniper to do.
Yes, Centaur, Clockwork.
Neither of them really work into this draft unless you want to do a position for Centaur. I don't know if that's really
they already have their cores as kind of like you're saying is the issue.
Yeah, so it's a good. This is the way you want to pick a sniper when you know that there's like a support. It's kind of limited what they can pick.
Similar example would be Broodmother. Generally, when teams are picking Broodmother and having success, it's a 5th pick because that way. You know they don't have much lave clear, or their supports are just very level dependent and not going to be able to spend too much time zoning you, and they can't just like bust out a Sand King or something and just dominate the spider lane. So it's the right way to go about picking Sniper. Yeah,
Dazzle Band makes some sense. Pretty good hero against Sniper. Well, just in general, good with Tiny and gives them a lot of sustainability. But PR, they'll grab a little bit of counter push. And another hero that is so damn good against the Void, that of course is the Earthshaker. The old Tarn himself will be picked up by J4 and just sit in the back. Void drops a Chrono, and sometimes a Fissure is the make it or break it between life or death of one of your allies. So pick that makes some sense.
Yes, good to disengage versus the Chronosphere. Good initiation against all these heroes if you can get the Blink Dagger out. But it's a 5-position shaker most likely, so it's going to be hard to find your farm.
So Pycat takes the Void, EGM takes the Invoker, and Loda on the Sniper. That is not the way I would have
I feel like they're going to swap.
I think so too. That's kind of where I'm going with it.
I don't know if EGM's ever played Invoker, at least in a competitive match.
Have you ever played Invoker?
I'm sure at some point he's played it in general, but
5 seconds.
Invoker, nothing in his last 15 matches. I mean, granted, on Tinker he was playing support, so that's the thing is he's been playing support competitively for ages. So
well, no swap arenas yet. Ake takes the Abaddon. My nuts on the line.
For battle.
The EGM Voker.
All right,
I'm hyped. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
Looks like Quas Wex with the early Blades of Attack.
Invoker is a trickier hero if you're not a well-practiced
Plus, he's wearing the purple duds.
Well, of course. I mean,
he's got to be role-playing here.
Naturally here. The inscribed hood of Endless Intellect. Oh, boy.
See, you can't get additional kills on your or tornado kills on your gems. Although he does have a Sunstrike gem as well. Just to confuse us a bit more, Andrew.
What a sad story there. All right, so fun stuff from Alliance. Always fun to see Sniper pickups. I have not seen him in a game I've cast since the change to Shrapnel, now being charge-based. Was that considered generally as a buff? When I last talked to pros about it, it was kind of like, it's weird.
I think it's kind of mixed. Obviously, the thing with Shrapnel is it made him like a mini Dragon Knight, right? Where you can Shrapnel the tower and slowly it will die, similar to Dragon Knight. You just use your ult when you get level 6. You hit the tower a few times, it's going to take damage.
Yeah.
But obviously he has a lot more utility and just control over how close people can get to him with the 3 Shrapnel charges in a fight. So I think overall it's considered a buff, but there are situations where, especially if like you lack push, it can really hurt you.
Yeah.
They are going to run it in the off lane. Now, I want to point out, Abaddon has an early TP scroll. Ake's picked one up. So I don't know if they look to dual lane this, if they're just going to have Loda play very defensively. They got down a nice ward for him, but it's the off lane Sniper.
All right.
Very gankable hero, but they are not expecting a dangerous lane.
No boots first either, which Snipers, I mean, it's almost like you can't because his auto attack damage is so low, but without boots, man, he is slow. Abaddon will rotate already, so it will be a 2-2-1. Mindnut's hanging out in the mid next to the Invoker, and they'll leave Pycat by his lonesome on the Void, at least out of the gate.
This is hype. The first CGM Invoker game on record as far as I'm aware.
Yeah. So Puck and Earthshaker will be on the off lane here. Dityarad takes Tiny mid, joined by Sinek on the Wisp, and that will leave Shotchelo solo safe lane on the Viper. Should be fairly well equipped to deal with this.
Yeah, let's see how these lanes are going to work out. Sniper with Abaddon backing him up should do pretty well against Viper. In the dual lane mid, Invoker, Lion, as long as Lion doesn't get caught by the toss Ava combo, should be okay. Invoker going Exort build, so did not end up going Quaswax, despite the early Blades.
Okay.
Which I think Quas Exort is actually the better build for this game. Uh-oh, Ake top lane, getting chased out a bit, but Loda gets that attack speed slow to keep him alive.
Yeah, at first point and headshot.
And then Void versus Puck should go pretty well for the Void. Just very difficult to right-click harass. He can complete his poor man shield if he's under any danger, and Cheshire Cat will get some levels, but Void can just bully a lot of heroes. He's used the orb to farm. He's hoping for a bash, which could lead to a kill, but doesn't end up getting it.
Nope. And we'll probably stay somewhat quiet in the bottom lane as the focus is in the other lanes where the cores are. Ditya should be pretty quiet until they hit like level 3, level 4, and that's when this tiny Wisp in mid lane duo gets really scary. Just spamming the tosses in, trying to keep this Invoker squished up.
They're not stacking the jungle yet, though. This is now 2 minutes. They've had 2 opportunities to go for the stacks, not getting any yet. And obviously, they're very important for Tiny Wisp. There's still time to start, but...
And Abaddon jacks the rune from Seneko, so that's a little unfortunate for the Wisp.
I think that's where running Mindnuts mid is helpful, because if you just leave just the Tiny versus Invoker, he doesn't... Ditya won't get harassed nearly as much, so the Wisp can spend more time in the jungle. So perhaps that's the idea for Alliance here, just help keep the Wisp busy mid.
Yeah, just distract him. I mean, we've seen in games prior what can happen if you leave a talented hand to his own devices in the jungle and how quickly you can accelerate your carry's farm with good stacking. So PR, not off to an aggressive start on that front.
Finally, I'm going to see a game where Puck actually has a decent time of it. Although he gets cornered here. Maybe I've jinxed him.
No, boy.
Getting chased out by Pycat. No bashes, though.
Yeah, no mana for Illusory Orb, and we'll be all right.
But yeah, he's 11-3. He's getting his levels. And he's forced Pycat to take a point and backtrack, which has not been very common as of late. Fissure mid, though.
Yeah, here we go. Initiation comes out onto EGM. Mindnut's taking a lot of damage in the fray. This could be her first blood. The toss up, and it is. Ditya finds that bonus gold as he mashes the potatoes.
Just a nice movement by the Earthshaker, and it really punishes Alliance. Running a dual lane mid, losing your Invoker to the first blood, and, of all things, giving it to Tony. Well, this just about makes up for the stacking. Which is also something the Earthshaker could do if they want. So they could just leave the Wisp mid and let J4 do at least some stacking. But for now, he's roaming.
And it looks like in the safe lane, the Viper really having a good time. The last hit leader right now, 16-7 versus the 10-4 Sniper. And again, another situation. This is a 2-on-1 lane. So the fact that Viper's even like breaking even here is a big victory. And Loda just getting harassed so hard.
Viper's a strong laner.
Yeah.
They're dual laning him and he's still dominating.
Yeah, exactly. That's
just one of the things about the hero.
Value town for PR, though.
If you're not dominating your lane as Viper, though, generally you're in trouble. So this is to be expected.
Yeah, well, there are some dual lanes that he can't dominate. You know,
yeah, that's true.
I mean, he's not just breaking even up top. He's winning. He's doubling the CS of the Sniper.
If they're dual laning or you're not feeding, in some ways that is dominating, right? Because they're committing a lot more to...
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point.
But he's getting dual lane and dominating, so that is the best of both.
Moral of the story, Viper doing
just dominate things.
Yeah.
Summon your inner dominator. They're looking for this kill mid on Mr. Potato, and
it's dark here.
The issue for EGM is there's no ward.
Exactly. Yeah, you're looking at EGM vision. He just has absolutely no clue. Beautiful block out. They come charging in and rinse and repeat. Another one on the Invoker, and
such good patience from J4. He sat here from 3:30 until just about 4:30 to get that kill.
Proved worth it,
and they know that Alliance doesn't have a ward there at this point. It's very clear. So, you know, he wasn't spotted when he came down from here for the first fissure. He wasn't spotted when he showed up here and came down for the second one. EGM's going to need a ward, or they're going to need to park the Abaddon behind him, or they can do this and just put Pycat mid instead. But they had to make a change of some kind.
Or you just rotate heroes. So Pycat, he's been racking up the safe lane farm. 25 CS, just now dings level 6, and he will have a bottle.
The bottle void.
Yeah, so not too bad for him to make this rotation. Invoker only level 4. We'll move into the easier safe lane, but Puck is soon to be 6, so it still isn't like a freebie for the Invoker. Still needs to be a little careful. If J4 rotates down and Puck has a coil, they might be able to find a kill.
They are going to jump in mid lane onto Pycat, getting off the Avalanche Toss combo. He gets a backtrack. He turns with the Chrono. Sunstrike following this one up, and Seneko. Nope, actually barely even tickled. I think it was split between both of them, and does end up barely going down, though. So nice play there by Pycat.
Yeah, really close call.
Yeah, only a level 2 exort.
Decided to be aggressive there. Yeah, 160. It's cute.
And then it's split between both of them, so it ends up not being a ton.
Yeah.
Still, kill's a kill. Nicely done.
So, but right now Alliance have 2 cores that are really underfarmed relative to where they should be. You've got this Sniper and Invoker, both with 13 last hits at 6 minutes. And, you know, you compare that to, like, the 33 on the Viper, even just the 18 on the Tiny, plus the 2 kills he's picked up. PR off to a pretty damn good start. 2,500 gold, 1,500 experience at the 6th
And they keep on putting these heroes mid that are so easy to gank. J4 is almost in fissure range. Actually, he's got Loda now. Oh, he was thinking about it.
He's right on the edge. They want to set this up so bad.
He's got him.
Hits him with the stun, sets it up for Dityara, tosses him up, not even into the river, and that will make it 3-1.
They need a ward, or they need a sentry and at least get rid of PR's vision here, but
I'm really surprised it's not warded. You look at the Radiant Vision right now.
The other alternative is just to leave the Void there, or again, park the Abaddon behind someone. But leaving just Sniper or Invoker by themselves mid, this is going to keep on happening. It's just defeating Frenzy in the mid lane.
Yeah.
And now Wisp is off in the jungle, starting to do the stack thing. This is
stack thing.
The trees have respawn, so you can't do the double stack, but that'll help out.
It's all about that stack life.
And if Sniper and Invoker are playing catch-up, that means Tiny is free farming, and they're going in mid again.
Mid lane, Pycat caught by the combo, a fissure to fly through, backtrack that, says Dityara.
This lane, man, it's a meat grinder. Bottom lane, there's a relocate.
Oh boy, Potato, he thought he was safe, but this Wisp is already level 6 at the 7-minute mark. Having a Tiny with 5 kills in 7 minutes will do that, but wowza, how do you stop this snowball? Dityara is out of control already. Forget about farming creeps, man. He's just farming heroes.
They are going to have a very hard time playing from behind. Sniper needs to be protected. Invoker needs to be protected. Lion's very squishy. Abaddon can't be everywhere. And also, until he gets level 6, is pretty killable.
This Radiant team needs, like, a series of personal Abaddons for every hero.
I mean, bottom lane, though. They do go in on Cheshire Cat. They get off the Impale. No finger yet. They had Hex. Not using it. Now they do. But the Orb, is he going to be able to get out? Nope. Too long.
Close call. Might not.
Much needed kill.
Yeah, hits level 5 off that, so no finger available. But a pretty close call, to be honest. Whew. All right, step in the right direction for Alliance.
Top lane. Sunstrike came out onto Shadeslow.
And they're going to find
the shield should get him, maybe. Oh, they couldn't fissure because it might have broken the shield, but also nothing to do. And meanwhile, mid, Dityara and Sonigo just posting up here. They're going to take this tower.
That could have been a lot different if they had a relocate available. Still on cooldown for 20 seconds. They probably could have looked to turn something around.
Yeah. I also want to point out that it's only a double stack, so that's the one issue for PRIC is other teams, when they run Tiny Wisp, put a lot more emphasis on stacking the jungle. They have another double stack here, but it's of the medium camp. It's not a particularly valuable stack.
Yeah, I mean, I guess given that Dityara's picked up 5 kills already,
relocate bottom
a little bit right onto the Potato, and this Invoker.
Enter Potato mode.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, he 1, 4, and 2. What does he do from here?
They are setting up though for the return of Sonigo, and Void will even join this one. That's 4 heroes committed for the kill, but they finally get something.
Well, now that they know there's 4 heroes committed mid, the rest of PR will hang out around the bottom lane. Well, by the rest, I mean 2 of them. They'll have a third on the way. This tower will go down, it would appear. Glyph has already been used, and no defense coming its way. They even got this siege.
It's going to be so fast, especially if they let him get the tower last hit. Well, the puck does. Still good. Works towards the blink, but Dityara buys 2 more components.
He gets a Yasha.
Oh, okay.
Switches it up. I'm a little surprised, to be honest.
It's still a good farming item. Obviously, Ags is superior if you purely want to farm. Yasha gives you a little bit more killing potential just because you're more mobile. And interesting choice, though, because he could have a really fast Ags.
Yeah, and it's the equivalent of the Battle Fury for Tiny. So the faster you get it, the faster you can start getting that farm roll. And
it's like a super Battle Fury.
Yeah, exactly. But it also gives you huge damage, all that stuff.
Lane.
On top, we'll see J4. Yeah, jumped on here by Pycat. But
no chrono, though.
Drops a fissure. I think they were worried that there was somebody inbound.
And now Loda's getting zoned out mid. If Dityara gets this tower, then he'll still be on track for fast Ags.
Got relocate.
Last hit goes the way of the Tony.
Yeah, relocate in 5. They may try to do something. Pycat TP's in, does get off a backtrack.
They had to relocate, but couldn't end up using it, and he will lose his Wisp. He still goes in, though. Toss cooling down in 1 second. Pycat, is he going to get the backtrack? This is going to be down to the wire. Bop, he got it.
Oh, he got the backtrack. Oh, my God. He has an avalanche up, though, looking for the deny on Roche, perhaps. Can he actually find it? Roche,
is he going to backtrack too many hits? He backtracks ahead. No, the Roche, get the kill. Oh, they do.
Oh, my God, the backtracks, dude. That's like the one time you're like, please don't backtrack, please don't backtrack. Fuck, backtrack.
Literally, live by the backtrack, die by the backtrack. What a Dota life.
Now, while that was happening, Viper got a solo double kill up the top. I actually don't know that it was solo, but he got a double kill up top, killed Wisp and Abaddon.
What a Crazy game.
Oh, no, sorry. He killed Sniper and a Bat, and Wisp is on his team.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Still.
Gets the double kill top.
Yeah, I mean, that's
this is turning into a rout rather quickly. An 8K gold lead, 4K experience lead, and they're running Tiny Wisp. He's already invading their jungle. Blink Dagger for the puck, only about 1,900 short. They're going quickly into desperation mode. Pyket now smoked up top lane with Ake. Yeah. They want to kill.
I mean, this is what you have to do at this point. Desperation mode has been fully engaged, and they don't even have a chrono here, so they need to make it happen. First hit back with the relocates coming in. J4 will die, but will Pyket pay? They know he has no way to escape, and yep, it's going to cost him something. A Photic Shield, still 3 seconds before he can time-lapse. Zyori in hot pursuit as Wisp gets fingered and can't get there for the toss. So, 2-for-0 from Alliance. Nicely done.
They even committed puck coil, puck rotated in. That's a pretty big trade.
Yeah.
Gold swing of 1,500. Yeah, that's
I'll take it.
Just from a 2-for-0. That's how far behind they are.
Yeah, that relocate, not instant enough, I guess. Aloda taking out a big fatty here in his jungle, triple stack, using those shrapnel charges here, trying to just get back on course, find a base level of farm. Just look at the net worth, though. Tiny is just doubling the leading farmers of Alliance. And now can just start working on the Aghanims and only 2K away.
Big Tiny. Ancient should start getting stacked pretty soon. I imagine he'll go back for Ags. Yeah, he does pick up the Ogre Club. So
hard to pass up
with that having some like piles of gold to farm will be nice. And the other thing is Alliance aren't very good at jacking the stack. First of all, they should be way too scared to go for that. Secondly, their heroes just aren't very good at it in general. And third, they need to catch up. So I would like to see more stacking out PR. I think that's the one thing they're not doing enough of right now. But if they're getting kills instead, then it's worth it. They are starting to clean up some stacks here and there.
Chrono in the mid lane, right onto the Earthshaker. Shotchelo TP's in, but can't get there in time to turn it around, and will just be another pickoff for Alliance. Well, nothing game-breaking, but a little pickoff here and there will certainly bode well as they smoke, and looks like they want to go for a gank on the puck.
Relocate is ready. Puck gets off the combo. Even orbs and silences, though, so has little left, but blinks in the wrong way.
Yeah, not where Cheshire Cat wanted to go with this one, and that will be the end of him. The Fairy Dragon gets taken out, and his heart will be cut through.
PR are just so aggressive. Viper just saw 3-4 heroes there, and now just casually walks up a couple hills, down mid lane. He does know there's a relocate back him up, and Chrono's on cooldown, yet that's still a bold play.
Yep. It's just that classic CIS mentality. Oh, there's here. You somebody want to fight? You guys want to fight? I'm ready. Let's do it. All right.
I still feel like the Ags would have been the way to go for Zyori. He hasn't been fighting constantly by any means. He's been farming quite a bit, and obviously the Ags is just flat out better for that.
I mean, I think end of the day, it's not going to make
He's still going to be ahead. It's just he could be more ahead. Is the main thing.
I mean, Yasha is still a good farming tool. Not as good as the Ags, but it's like one of those. Yeah, it's kind
bottom
of
lane. They do relocate.
Yep, right onto Pycat. Backtracks a little bit of the damage from the avalanche, but the toss is there. That dunk from J4 as he comes back down, still barely lives. Compliments to Ake.
Finger. Oh.
He doesn't finger the Wisp. Oh, the tree's there. Now they relocate back. J4 goes, oh, crap, now I'm left alone. Shotchelo says, I just got here, guys. Puck's coming in. Dream Coil's available. Mine not taking a lot of damage from Shotchelo. He'll be the first to go down.
They cannot deal with this Viper right now. 1,500 health with Corrosive level 3.
Yep, and an Ag's on the way.
He is very tanky. And they rely heavily on bursting heroes during Finger Hex, Chrono Sunstrike, things like that. Assassinate. You ain't bursting him unless you catch him out 5v1.
Definitely not. Tiny does uproot the Whomping Willow here.
He's so fat. Even going Yasha first. 15-minute.
It's an unbelievable
Ags Yasha. 7-0-1.
Yeah. Now the Cleave Man has joined the party. Level 2 in that ultimate. So, all right.
Enter beast mode. They can again, I think, can continue looking to stack up and farm. Now with the puck blink, they also have options to be even more aggressive. And they're going to smoke from inside the tree line. Even Earthshaker blink not too far off. Just tried to buy a TP scroll that wasn't near the shop, but
Yeah.
His blink's coming in like 1,300, 1,400.
Yeah, he's been around that 800 mark for a while. He's been picked off. Those 2 deaths were both pretty recent. So before that, his farm was really good. Now he's been
And they have a relocate now as well. They're even bringing the Viper in towards bottom. This is going to be 5 here in a moment.
Yeah, they're ready to bait it in. Pycat gets silenced and just completely bursted down. Not a bad way to start off a team fight by bursting the void. Now they just look at the tower and...
I think you leave the Tiny here at detether.
Yep, I think so too. They'll do just that. Zyori just laying into it. And a few more whomps of this tree. And it'll go down. Alliance don't even seem interested in contesting.
They don't split push. With Shrapnel not damaging towers, and the general lack of mobility, and the threat of the Tiny Wisp, now the Blink Puck, they can't split push. They're getting out farm. I don't even think they have late game. It might Sniper and Void are card carries, so it might be close if they were farm, but...
Yeah, I mean, if
their farm curves look just sad compared to the Tiny, even the Viper.
You combine their farms, and Tiny's still outfarming them right now.
Yeah,
that's how much further ahead Zyori is. So you're right. Like late game, 45 minutes from now, if somehow Alliance can survive, yeah, this Sniper Void will be pretty damn scary. Tiny's already there. He's already scary. Mask of Madness now picked up on the Sniper. Yep.
At this point, if you're Alliance, you're trying to think of how do we come back in this game, and they don't even have smokes to buy. There's a minute before they can buy one more. They've been using them for, like we saw top lane. They go for the 2-hero smoke, big deep dive, and it ends up working out in a 2-for-0. But you can only do those so many times. You have to ideally be able to find some kills in map control without needing to rely on smoke, or when they're down, you're stuck in your base, and you just see their positioning. Loda afraid to leave his tier 3 tower. EGM is out pretty far top, and if he's not careful, will probably get jumped momentarily by this puck. And 3 heroes just hanging back mid. They have to play this defensively, but it means Tiny takes over their woods, free farms, and just pulls ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. The Invoker has made somewhat of a recovery. EGM at least has like his baseline of items, phase boots, force staff, but very atypical to see an Exhort Invoker without a Midas, and he was just shut down so hard he never really had a chance to farm it, and now that will really set him behind. As it always goes back to Invoker certainly needs farm, but he really needs levels more than anything else, and without a Midas, he's middle of the pack, level 10, and just simply put, not a threat.
He could be a decent threat if they get the perfect chrono and meatballs. And but you need to have a leveled up Exhort for that. Like you're saying, at this stage of the game, he's not. But I guess at some point he could be. And it is very rare to see even an Exhort Invoker who falls behind early, skipping Midas.
Yeah, it's either you're ahead, great, Midas is going to be further ahead, I'm behind. Oh, well, better get the recovery, Midas. It's just, it works
Most
so well
Invoker players, when I've heard them cast, and just in general when they talk about it, say they feel it's mandatory. But EGM just thinking he needs to get a force staff, some way to get involved a bit earlier and assist his team.
Also just some way to survive. You know, that's great if you get a Midas, but if you just keep dying over and over, it still isn't really that helpful. At least now he's got a mobility tool, and I guess against relocate, still not that helpful, but every little bit counts.
And now the AC begins. When Tiny completes this, he's going to be beating on the tier 3s. Yeah. Might even be before then. Alliance are in pretty dire straits, I have to say. They need
middle tower is under attack.
2 really convincing fights to come back. Like 4-for-1 type of thing.
Yeah. They basically need PR just to run into the base and dive this tier 3 all willy-nilly and do something crazy. They get the tier 2 tower mid. Void using this opportunity to farm the dire jungle. I like the thought process here to find farm wherever he can. But needs to be a bit careful as PR are backing up. They're heading his way. And
gonna relocate Zyori bottom just to push out this lane.
Looks like Void will be safe after all.
Yeah, they'll come back to the top rune, so just good split pushing by PR. Keeping the map control, and this Void might not be safe for much longer.
Pycat bumps right into Cheshire Cat.
Ooh, I found a puck.
Oh, no. Okay, can he actually kill the puck? Nope, the heal from Seneco's there. He'll be fine. Pycat tries to TP home, and it won't happen. Another kill for the Dire side. And
Chrono down for 2 minutes. If they want to push now, that's a tier 2 down top.
It's a level 1 Chrono. Oh, boy.
He's level 11, and it's only level 1.
Did he miss skill, or is he holding on to one? I think he just...
The duration being 0.5 more isn't that big of a deal, but I feel for the cooldown, you need to skill this.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the... It's only 15 seconds, but that 15
And the thing with, like, you see Enigmas won't skill up Black Hole, but that's because the mana cost gets ridiculous. Chrono, very manageable, 175, and Void doesn't really have mana issues. Probably just misskilled.
Yeah, well, also, it's just what do you get by leveling up Black Hole? And you get you're trading mana for damage, and you just don't use Black Hole for damage, you know? So
yeah,
it's a little bit different.
And it's also, it can be an interruption. So
yeah,
you level it up, you get the full duration, you may not get it off anyway.
So Tier 2 tower in the top goes down. That is the last outer tower for Alliance. Tiny still keeping up by more than doubling the leading farmers of Alliance single-handedly. He basically is the Power Rangers right now. He is the Megazord reincarnated. 14,000 gold, 10,000 experience.
And it's not like Shadeslow is easy to deal with. Uh-oh, in the Radiant Woods, Lion. Dunked.
Hey there, my nuts.
And done. Bottom lane, they relocate. On to Potato. Alliance. Oh, maybe not self-destruct. Oh, they have Dust.
Staff.
They're ready for you, EGM. And he tries to run. They toss the Wisp in. This might be the death of the Wisp. But they still continue chasing, plinking, and plinking away. They get the kill. And they go back.
Close call.
Meanwhile, top lane, Shadeslow is getting aggressive.
Yep, goes in on the Pycat. He has an Aghanim Scepter here, so we'll be able to continue spamming out that ultimate. Does get stunned up by a bash from Pycat. Now gets hit by the Assassinate from Sniper, but it's magic damage and that corrosive skin. Mitigating how much Loda hurts. Meanwhile, Ditrara.
Oh no, he's losing it. Now they catch him out with the Impale, Burrow from the Lion, and chasing onwards. Ditrara up the hill, looking to bring this Lion down. Can he get in range for the Avalanche? It's going to be close. He should get the kill. One more club will do it. Another takedown. Yeah. Shadeslow surviving. Everybody lives. Also, Earthshaker has Blink. He just has to friggin' buy it. And he'll TP home and do that now.
Perfect game from this Tiny.
From bad to worse.
11, 0, and 3. Now level 16. Leading farmer. Highest level by a big margin.
Well, let me tell you, Andrew. This is all part of the plan. See, when they kill the Tiny, they're going to get rich.
I mean, he's going to get...
honestly, they kill the Tiny. That may be a 5,000 gold swing. At this point.
Yeah.
They'd still be down a lot, but he's big. Problem is, right now he's got agents. They're not killing him twice.
Yeah, the big problem is they really just don't have anybody that can kind of keep him busy. They've got Sniper who can kind of chip away at him, you know, Lion who can finger him, but there isn't like a Bristleback or somebody that can just at least stand blow for blow with the Tiny for more than like 2 auto attacks. Once he hops in and finds the Sniper, I mean, Loda's dead in 1 combo. Like, half this Radiant team is just free food for the Tiny still. Void's the only one with 4 figures worth of hit points. And, we'll see a little pick off on the puck. That's a step in the right direction.
They just need more of that.
Yeah.
What would really help them is if Lion managed to form a Blink, but My Nuts is very poor. Well, or is it My Nuts are very poor? I'm not sure.
Ditrara, Manta style
Grammar
completed.
questions.
Yule's coming out for Cheshire Cat, but yeah, Manta, another scary item pickup here. Smoke
Having
rotation.
such tanky cores is just really good drafting by PR against Alliance's lineup. Heavy on the burst damage, but if you don't kill heroes during the burst, you just lose the fight. And both Tiny and Viper, you've got Craggy, 27 armor on Viper, 2300 HP. Viper with 1600 HP, as well as rank 3 corrosive. For some reason, still not maxed, actually. That's interesting. But I imagine we'll be maxing out soon.
Yeah.
Most players max it out first.
Yeah, especially against all the magic damage they have on the Radiant side.
Hey, they're not going on him, you know, so...
That's true, I guess.
Why bother with... The best defense is a good offense is the build here.
Yeah.
And I can't really argue with it.
No, it's just, okay. Now I'm breaking the studio.
Literally knocking it down with this cast.
Stealing the Radiant Ancients here, just adding some more salt to the wound. Cheshire Cat. He has a Yule's almost completed on the Courier, I think. Yep, almost there. And
I just don't know what Alliance do. They can't split push. They can't farm if they're not. They don't have Midases. They just basically have to hope the PR dive them. You can just tell when there's not a smoke, there's nowhere to go, and there's no smoke, as I was mentioning earlier, for quite some time after the last one. Well, they used it. Now 5.5 minutes where they leave their base at great peril.
Yeah, I'm scraping my brain for any way that Alliance can easily just pull the trigger on a plan here. But even if they catch the Tiny, let's say Tiny's by himself farming, Wisp is dead on the other side of the map, you hit him in a chrono, you still have the problem of no BKB on the Void.
Yeah,
Craggy's
you can get
there.
Craggy. You don't have that much burst. Exhort's still not even max, so the Sunstrike doesn't hit that hard.
I mean, Loda's still he's hits for 85 damage.
It's a level 1 finger as well.
Yeah, 2,300 hit points. Even the finger doesn't really hurt him that much.
I think if they throw everything at the Tiny, it's quite likely it won't even be enough to kill him.
Yeah, and then you've still got this Viper. You still got the Echo Slam.
And that's not counting Overcharge. That's not counting Wisp Heals. That's not counting Defensive Relocation.
Yeah, that's assuming Wisp is dead.
And Defensive Fissure, which they have no BKBs to deal with. And that's all assuming that they get the jump.
Even the ideal scenario.
I don't mean to be too cynical, but it takes a big throw. It really does.
Yeah, even the ideal scenario here is still just completely.
Now a Reaver. Tony Sama. He is full metal at this point.
Oh, he finds Pie-Cat. Oh my gosh, Cheshire Cat hiding in the tree line there, and
it just beats him in the air with the club, pounds him into the ground.
My.
That is one big hunk of rock.
That sure is. That is.
It's time for Tony to be up in your base. PR, again, one of the rising star teams in the Chinese, or not Chinese. I said rising stars, so I thought in the CIS scene, up there with VP Polar, as well as the old Compass Gaming, now Hellraisers, pounding into Alliance and making a strong statement.
Rai just walks in, throws Lion in the air, and says, "Good night, sweet prince. Your soul is now mine." Glyph's already been used. Mid lane of Barracks will go down basically without a fight. It's a 5v3 on the field.
They got nothing. No buyback on Void. They're going to lose the second lane of Rex practically before he respawn. Power Rangers are going to China, it looks like, at least as one of your wildcard teams. And Alliance still not even guaranteed to get to attend the big dance. They take down a second lane of Rax. They're even sitting back, but Tony, unafraid. Remember, they've got Blink Echo here. They're going to play it safe. They know how close they are to taking this, and honestly, you just wait for the second Aegis, which is already out, and that's pretty much it.
Loda begging for mercy, please.
There will be no mercy from a Tiny this big. That is for damn sure. Now the completed Satanic inbound of Vlad's for Saniko and a Sanj for Shadeshlow. Oh my goodness.
Shadeshlow just went back for an SNY. Forget about the Manta.
The Wisp is almost out farming the Void. This is one of the most one-sided games I've cast in a very long time.
Yeah, me too. It's amazing how quickly this just got out of control. Tiny with 5 kills in the first 7 minutes.
I really go back to mid where it was just one after the other. Keep on going in. Yeah. PR played well. Really good movement by the Earthshaker, but they should have had a ward there sooner. Or they should have done something to protect those heroes.
Yeah, Park the Abaddon mid.
The Void going mid actually worked. Remember, he chronoed, he got the 1 kill, he lived, but here we go, mid lane.
Yep, coil on 2. Tiny does have that Aegis of the Immortal. He'll go right onto the potato. They mash him up, and EGM will be the first to die. Now Ake, borrowed time's there, buys him some time. Pie-Cat with a chrono on 1, gets the kill on Saneko, but nowhere to go after that. Cheshire Cat.
Oh, by the way, there's an Earthshaker in this game. Echo Slam in your face.
Yep.
And Dityara undented. GG. Well played. Top 3 guaranteed now for PR.
12-21, 28 minutes in. One of the most one-sided games, like you said. PR just executing to a T. Viper won a 2v1 in the top lane. Wisp Tiny won a 2v2 in the mid lane. And then the off lane wasn't really that bad for him. I mean, Puck
they had a 30k
okay.
gold lead. Was that even a 30-minute game? 28 minutes.
Nope, 28 minutes.
Over 1,000 gold a minute advantage accrued.
Wow. Tiny 16-0
for 28 minutes. Sometimes you'll see that for like the first 10 minutes, but
yeah.
I mean, we might just have to get this VOD muted, Andrew. I think there's a song to be played now. That was congratulations to PR. They played like champs, and the new alliance still some kinks to work out.
Yes, definitely. And is this their final form? Are they still looking? I saw there was a post on Reddit about their roster, but I didn't get a chance to read it. Are they still shuffling? I think, or is this?
They haven't said this is our roster for like the rest of the year, but for now, this is their roster. This
is the group. It's
with
a fun
Pie-Cat.
Group.
They had Nikwa standing in for Pie-Cat.
Right, yeah. So it's an interesting group. A lot of talent there, but nice to see Power Rangers hitting their stride and actually really looking good here. 16 fantasy points there for the Tiny. What a game. Well, thank you so much for joining us, folks. I'm Zyori. Was joined by LD for the second part of the cast today. We've got plenty more DAC coverage coming up this week in the days to follow, leading right up until we leave for the land for Star Ladder. If you enjoyed the cast, follow us on Twitter at ZyoriTV, at LD Dota, both in the title of this broadcast, and of course at Beyond the Summit to stay up to date with all things happening in the studio, as we are the official English partners for the Dota 2 Asia Championships. But LD, we're done for the day, man.
Yeah, I'll be back in, I think it's about 12 hours, guys, to cast the first shift of Europe. So You'll be hearing from me soon. Are you joining me for Burn the Midnight Oil?
I think it's me and Ben on the second shift tomorrow.
Okay.
So if memory serves.
You get Merlizzi. We gave him the day off today. We had a pretty grueling 9-hour cast the other day. He was a little faded from that.
He shirked the flame flowers.
He shirked the shots, dude. We made 2 bets. He lost both bets. He still owes me those 2 shots.
He proxied them to the nether. Just, they were proxied.
Why is everyone else allowed to proxy? Drink your Red Bull, Ben.
I don't know how it works out that way.
With that said, we'll be back soon. Thank you very much for watching.
Rest and come on back. More Dota 2 action coming your way for DAC coming up tomorrow.